Hello, I'm Fisi.
And I'm Ycoms.
And welcome back to another race in the AOR PC Split 1 with the FisChris highlights from round 8 at Silverstone. One of the historic and amazing circuits on the calendar. Silverstone always fun to drive, and it should be a lot of fun, Chris.
Oh yeah, definitely. Silverstone, definitely a very, very nice circuit to drive, especially the second sector with Maggots, Beckets and Chapel. But, you know, Silverstone, obviously also a home race for many, many people, and normally, I don't know, just a track where, for some reason, everyone wants to be good at, so that might be difficult, you know, to deal with, but we will see how it goes, I guess.
So then for the qualifying laps, Chris on the left and me on the right, as per usual, apart from last week, lol. So coming into the first corner, Abby flat out in qualifying conditions, even on the medium tires, which we both have chosen to qualify on, actually the slower out of the two compounds you can use for qualifying, braking hard into second gear into the arena section, and then trying to take a wide entry through turn 4 to get a good run onto the straight, which I forgot the name of, so that's always good. I was struggling a bit more in the tractions on there compared to you, but I think it's relatively solid first sector for both of us.
Yeah, definitely coming into the tricky braking zone for Brooklands, and now into Lovefield, trying to open up the second part of that corner to get a very, very decent exit for both of us, actually. Now coming into Woodcut and then down the old start-finish straight, coming up to Cups corner, down into 7th gear once again, clipping the apex here nicely for both of us. I think I took a little bit more speed than you there, and now into the legendary Maggots, Beckets, and Chapel is the final corner here, the right-hander. And exit out of here is very, very crucial as we're now going down the hangar straight.
Oh yes, sector 2, absolutely amazing. I did notice that I've lost quite a bit of time to you in the middle part of the lap, so you're going to come first into Stowe, braking hard into turn 4. Another late apex there to get a good run into the final chicane, which can be a little bit annoying, but let's see how we can cope with this one. Second gear again on the entry. You were a little bit harder on the curb there, probably carrying a bit more speed again, and then short shifting a bit up through the final kink, and there we go. 130.3 for you. I'm 0.5 of a second up with the 130.8, which still felt like a relatively okay lap for me on the mediums, but obviously mixed tires once again. You were the lead medium runner. I'm down in 11th, so that fresh tire choice for me. But 7 drivers in the top 10 on the soft tires, which, unless they have really good tire wear, is going to make it difficult for them to do a one-stop. Whereas obviously those who are starting on the mediums will definitely do one-stop with this humongous pit lane around here.
Yeah, definitely. I was surprised actually how many people were qualifying on the softs, but yeah. I guess I'd take it, or we take it basically. So yeah, I mean, similar situation I think to last week for me. I think you are, in a better position than you were last week.
Which is funny, because last week I was 3rd, but obviously yeah, on the worst tire. So it was basically made opposite choice of last week in terms of tire, because again I probably could have had a pace to go on the soft tires. I even tried it to kind of go for pole on the soft tires, but I wasn't quite able to do it. So yeah, it went the other way this time. Chose to take a lower grip position for the better strategy. So both of us starting on the mediums. Let's see how it works out.
I mean, you are in the best position, on the grid probably. Like fresh mediums, P11 is not bad. You have Nick B though behind you, who's obviously one of the championship contenders. He didn't have such a good couple of weeks, so hopefully he can improve from that. As we are now waiting for all the players to line up. Here we go then. The British Grand Prix round 8 of the season is starting right now. We got 5 lights and we are underway. You're very aggressive here on the throttle, shifting down into 4th. That's a terrible start there for Nikki though. Going into turn 1, now switching over to me, nearly 3 wide ahead. I had to lift off there. It's going to allow Max to go up the inside of me, probably into turn 3. I tried to defend that a little bit, but I couldn't really help it. And now hopefully Max leaves me room here down the inside, but he will have the better exit, and Slick also getting a little bit sloppy there.
Jeez, didn't Max start 8th or something? Just get 4 positions from the start. That's amazing. Start from the 4 Indy guys. I've got Nuka on my outside. He's on the soft tires, interestingly, despite starting outside the top 10. So a little bit surprised about that. Didn't even notice it in when he went past me, actually. So yeah, he's going to have the best tires of everyone in the field at this point with the fresh soft, and he has gained that position on me. So I've actually dropped one from our start. Nick B also got through after kind of forcing me out wide a little bit when it got to the inside of Papasokratis into turn 3. But anyway, now through the middle part of the lap, through Cups corner. Oh, and there's a bit of collision there. That was Nick, actually. That was indeed Nick. who you said hopefully will have a good race, and it's not started off great on the first lap. I think Fab Racer was caught up in that as well. So a couple of positions gained for me, and you are still in the position you started in.
Yeah, well, obviously 2 top guys already almost, let's say not out of contention, but definitely, you know, dropped back quite a bit. I'm not sure about damage, potential damage I picked up or something like that, but you're now skipping onto lap 3, and obviously for us too, the soft runners are definitely faster than the first couple of laps. But I think now with lap 3, 4, 5 or something, it starts probably the switch over point, and I'm trying to now make a move on Slick and trying to defend from Nuka here, and as well as I think in the background, yeah, you're going up the inside of Papra Socrates as well, but he holds it around the outside. I'm still somewhat of a Slick. And that's the move done for me, but you're getting under pressure from Nick, and you're actually attempting a move, but lost another position to another, you know.
Got mugged a bit there, to be honest. I tried to be side by side with Papa through Stowe. Got a bad run. I could have really pushed him more on the exit of it, but yeah, got a bad run into the chicane, and Nicky kind of caught me off guard a little bit by going on the inside. So yeah, instead of being in a Renault sandwich, I'm now behind them both. Would have been preferable to be ahead of them both, but either way, I know that they'll be pitting much earlier anyway. Yep. So I'm not going to be too desperate about that for now. But yeah, up to P5 then for you. As we now skip on to lap 5, and Papa Socrates is still behind me. Nicky has actually pitted, I think. I think he pitted at the end of lap 4. It was interesting, actually. Both Nicky and Papa Socrates at the end of lap 4 looked like they were going both into the pits at the same time, but Papa had to just dive out of it on the last moment. I guess not too much communication between those two, but yeah, that means he's going to be ahead of me for another lap. And speaking of being ahead of someone, you got a big train actually. Afro, Fugutara and Max all holding you up, kind of, and Fugutara spun off onto the grass. Don't know if he hit the wall, and you're going to get a nice DRS run as well, straight on Max to go for the podium. Oh no, that's an illegal overtake warning. I didn't even see there was a yellow flag there.
It was switching between, and it's just switched back to green when I overtook him. So
of course it
rip. Obviously. But it seems like that Afro went in the pits, Slick in the pits, everyone pretty much in the pits, I think, apart from Berg, who stayed out for another lap. I guess lap 5 is pretty early still, I guess, so lap 6 is probably where the soft runners normally would pit if they are on the 2-stop train, which they most likely are. But that, oh my god, that gives you P5 for the moment, which is probably the position you are in effectively probably now, as now skipping to lap 7. I have caught Berg quite substantially in the last 2 laps. His tyres were just dead, and on the end of lap 7, which is actually quite late. He's actually pitting from the lead, and we all know, you know, he'll probably lose like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 35 seconds in the pits.
This pit lane is probably, I assume it's the longest on the calendar. It feels like the longest on the calendar at least. They lose the most time in. And yeah, late pits off from Berg, but Nuka is actually still going in second place on soft tires as well. Obviously they were fresh when he started on them, unlike the guys who were in the top 10, but he's now dropped a little bit of time on lap 10. I still can't believe how Nuka went 10 laps on those soft tires. He obviously had a lot of pace in the first part of the race. Nearly dropped back into me though, was about 3 seconds ahead as we entered the pit lane. Slightly cautious entry for me, considering in practice I had gotten a drive-through penalty on 50% of the occasion I tried to enter the pits. But that time avoided it, and won't hopefully have to worry about that more in the race, unless something happens. But yeah, that means of course you are going to take the lead of the race with all the soft runners pitting. And I'm going in on lap 10, because obviously we can't pit on the same lap. So hard tires for me, hard tires as well for Nuka. So despite Nuka starting on the softs, we are now going to be on the same strategy until the end of the race. And obviously you can see and hear that all of the guys who pitted earlier are now just flying past as we come out of the pits. So for now I'm going to be down to P16, but with the knowledge at least that everyone who pitted at least before lap 7 definitely will have to pit again.
Yep, definitely. I think we can take the order that he was on after Berg pitted pretty much for granted in what was the net positions, I guess. So that means that currently I would lead in front of RBK, Nuka and you. But we'll never know. Let's see if people can recover from the back again. And it seems like on lap 11, my tires are a little bit over 70%, but still not quite in puncture territory. So 11 laps wasn't that much of a problem for me, as I'm now going into the pits at the end of lap 7. And RBK actually worth mentioning probably. He started in P9 and he caught me quite a bit on these last couple of laps here before the pit stops. He's only 2 and a bit seconds behind, so I definitely have to watch out for him as well. and yeah, you can just see. I mean, you were like, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds behind me or something, and you are now entering the hangar straight while I'm already in the pits.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
That's a long way behind. It shows time you lose in the pit lane. So Kalon's going to go past. Actually, he's not on the hard tires, interestingly, so he also still has the pit then. So I think it was Chicane potentially as well. Also went into the lead briefly, which is interesting. Maff is up to third. Berg there comes after having done his pit stop. He's on the mediums now, so yeah, definitely going to do another stop as well, despite stretching the softs out a little bit longer than some of the other guys. So yeah, Afro and Berg ahead both will have to pit again. So you're in a very good position there. P6 after having done your only stop of the race. RBK also still behind you, also on the hards. So looking good. As for me, coming out of the pits, I was 3.1 seconds behind Nuka, I think. I've closed that down 2 tenths now to 2.9 as we come onto lap 14, just starting the second half of the race. So I wonder if I can close him down. Obviously, a little bit intimidated by Nuka's pace in the first part of the race, but that was, of course, on the better tires. So I will be pushing to try and close that, but I'm not sure if I can.
Still, though, he made his positions up to P3 after lap 5.
Yeah.
Did Nuka, so despite being on the fresher tires, this is still very, very solid effort. As I now caught up to Mavis, and Afro had a very terrible exit for some reason. I'm just gonna, go straight down the inside of Cobbs. Not sure if that's gonna work though.
Woo! Side
by side into Cobbs. I'm leaving him the room on the outside there, but I already, I think, was past even before the exit. And that is up to P4 for me for the moment. And Maff is, of course, another guy who has not pitted yet. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly I can pass him. I definitely had my issues last time out at Austria, to be honest.
Oh, you were struggling so much with passing him in Austria. Let's see if we can make easier work of him here on lap 15. Coming into the cups again, not quite alongside as you were with Afro, so you're going to try to get a good exit out of here maybe, although again into Maggots is also going to be very, very tricky to overtake. So I think your best bet is if you can stay close through here to get a good run onto the hangar straight. It's always good, and that's looking like a nice tight line to the apex for you, and Maff is losing a lot of speed on the exit. No DRS though, which is interesting, but at least you're going to fly past regardless.
Yeah, for some reason DRS was broken. Codemaster said there was no DRS breaking thingy in this game, but apparently it was. So not sure, but didn't matter really. I got rid of Mathis maybe a lap later than I wanted to, but yeah, move is done. RBK still, I think, out of DRS for me, which is probably the main focus for me at this point, and just having a little of an eye with to Berg and all the other guys. But yeah, RBK was my main guy I was holding out for, and I guess your main guy who you are focusing on is Nuka up ahead.
Yeah, definitely monitoring the gap to Nuka. Just trying, I'm pushing hard, even though obviously you kind of have to tie yourself a little bit when you're doing the one stop, even though it's much easier to do the medium hard and the the soft hard, which I did try and practice actually. I was a little bit surprised actually that not more people tried to go for the one stop from the soft hard, because I was able to do it, but then again, some people might struggle more with Tyro, I don't know. Either way though, things looking good for you. Fastest lap of the race. Berg still out in the lead, but on those mediums tires, and you're not too far behind actually, so yeah, you're in a really good position, and might have to focus a little bit for me actually on Berg as well. Be interested to see where he comes out after pitting, whether he's going to be close to me, but I'm on 2 warnings, which is not quite ideal.
No, definitely not. Well, yeah, I think you will come out quite a bit ahead of Berg still, but obviously he will go on to the mediums probably again, or even on the soft side, I don't know. But yeah, he's going to be very, very rapid, probably the fastest car in the field towards the end of the race. So it's going to be interesting how many positions Berg can make up in these 9 laps remaining, as he's now diving into the pits on lap 17. And that means I'm going to inherit the lead of the race, and from now on it is just really probably a drag, or just a time battle between RBK and me. It's still 2.3 seconds, so it's still very, very close between us two. And then there's probably the battle for P3 on the podium, probably between Nuka and you, 2.7 seconds. So you gain 2 tenths in 4 laps. You can definitely do it. You can do it.
Making progress. I'm coming, Nuka. I bet he's shaking in his pants right now after those 2 tenths were lost. But yeah, lap 23 now, so it's only actually going to be 3 more laps in the race after this. So both of us kind of it's not the most excited to watch, I guess. Both of us kind of in a lap time battle. You're trying to just control the gap to RBK, I guess, and I'm trying to chase down Nuka. whereas the threat in terms of intimate battles isn't too much, and you've actually extended the gap by 2 seconds in those 4 laps since last time, so you seem to be having the pace there if you keep your tires well intact, and it should be the win for you, Chris, I think.
Don't jinx it. Let's see what the gap is to Nuka now. 2.6 seconds.
Oh yes!
Oh, you gained a 10th on him. It is 3 laps to go, and yeah.
3 seconds in 3 laps, no problem.
Maybe Nuka has a penalty. You never know, but that's going to be interesting. Yeah, and Berg, as you saw, is absolutely nowhere near you at the moment. He has at least recovered to P5, but he is, yeah, he's probably pretty much going to stay there. So at the moment, he's looking for a very, very strong team result here for us once again. And we are already now skipping to the final lap. Nothing really happened in that second set. That was actually one of the most boring things probably to watch you guys. But anyway, it is now the final lap. I'm going down the hangar straight. RBK 4.6 seconds behind, and 11 seconds behind, obviously with you.
Boom, puncture!
Puncture! No, not really. Wait, I don't even know how many tire wear I had at this moment. I don't think I showed it on the screen recently. But anyway, this is going through Vale now. I think it's just Chicane Cole. That's the 2nd win of the season for me.
Oh yes, what a drive from you. And finally you have won a race on pure pace. Obviously Canada was very much helped by the weird strategy stuff, but this time it's all down to pace for you. And really good win. RBK will be 2nd, and unfortunately I wasn't quite able to close the gap to Nuka. Our pace was just way too similar really, and in the end I don't even see the time there because it says RBK's 3rd, but that is because he had a 10-second penalty, which when the extended the final corner, which is quite excessive and will get removed. Same with Berg actually, shows him in 7th, but he will finish in P5. But yeah, 1st and 4th for us. Manor looking good once again. Our 2nd best team result, I guess, of the season, apart from Montreal. Yeah, like you said, not the most interesting stuff to watch, at least in the second half of the race, but sometimes the races go like that. You know, last time in Austria it was the complete opposite.
Yeah, it probably was also down to so many people being, you know, on the split strategies, you know, and a lot of medium rows fell back in the beginning, like Nick B, Fab Racer as well. So it was quite obvious in the early stages that after we pitted, it probably wouldn't be that exciting of a race, you know, to watch for you at least, but obviously for us it was very, very satisfying. And looking at the championship now, this is actually the first time ever, I'm leading an AOR championship.
What? Man, looking good up there. I like it. So yeah, so 14 points the gap on Berg then after he got that penalty removed. Nick B scoring no points once again. He really needs to sort that form out, and I was in P6 still. So yeah, team championship, and the gap has increased once again. It's at 54 points, I think. Wow. Mercedes jumping both Ferrari and McLaren, so those 3 teams very close together again. But yeah, again we are the best scoring team, Chris, and I don't think any of us have won a constructor championship in AOR either.
Just you know, we shouldn't talk about these things in the videos. Really, we're just gonna.
We have won all the constructor championships. We don't need this one.
No. I think really what it should be pointed out, it's just been some really good races for us, some really good performances, capitalized on everyone's mistakes really, and obviously we can't expect, you know, to go on like that, but we will definitely try our best to go on like that and do similar results in the next couple of races. Next track is going to be Hungary.
Oh yes, Hungary. Mixed experiences from there in the past really, but that's one of those tracks which is relatively fun to drive and can throw up an interesting race. Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just over halfway point into the season now, so is that 7 races to go then, I guess?
Yes, this was around 7 races to go.
Should be good, hopefully. Hopefully we can keep up the form that we've shown so far, and hopefully you guys will all join us as well for the remaining races of the season. So from me, Fish, and from Chris, it is goodbye once again. See you next time.
Bye-bye.